My dad we were stationed in Munich, Germany, and I played high school football over there in American high school, but there was only about 400 students from 7th grade to, through senior year in high school, and so there wasn't just a whole lot of competition. And when my dad was transferred to Fort Hood and I went to try out for the clean football team during 2-a-days, they were trying me at offensive tackle, and I was going out to hit their star linebacker, and I mean, I was just seeing stars, and I mean, I'd never been hit by that, and what he was doing was he was giving me a forearm, but I had no idea what that was. And so between 2-a-days I went home and I just had this big lump right between my eyes. I mean, I was just red, and I mean, I couldn't believe this was happening to me. And so I got my sister's makeup kit and I covered up the bruise and went back out there and finally got used to getting hit, but ended up a defensive tackle my junior year because I wanted to do the hitting instead of getting hit by those linebackers. And finally got changed to offensive tackle my senior year, but it took me really more than half the season to get used to the offensive tackle position, and was only recruited by Rice and Texas Tech. And then towards the end of my senior year, when Baylor got a hold of the film, finally they decided to recruit me, and didn't really recruit me until January. And so after evaluating all the coaching staff and the players and looking at the various schools in the Southwest Conference, I decided that Baylor was definitely the place for me to go. My senior year in high school, I weighed approximately 235 pounds, and reported at Baylor at about 245 pounds, but lost about 5 pounds during that first 2-a-day workouts. And so I really weighed about 240 pounds my freshman year that I played here, and began on the weight training program. And I really made some gains, but most of the gains I've made under Coach Fix's program, and my weights gain, I'm up to about 280 pounds from 240 pounds. In my opinion, one of Coach Taft's biggest assets as a coach is his ability to motivate players. When I first, came to Baylor, a lot of times you don't even, you listen to him and you hear his speeches and, he's directly motivating you. But now that I've been here 5 years, there have been many times throughout my career at Baylor where I didn't even really realize he was motivating me by either making me angry or by using positive reinforcement. And it's definitely had a good influence on me and helped me to reach my potential. It was a real honor for me to be elected captain for the 1983 football team, and I take it not only as an honor but as a big responsibility. There's a lot of players that are looking to you, not only in the practices but also in the games, to see how you're reacting to different pressure situations. And I try to take it, not as being, the big man or anything, but try to be, a friend to all the players, so that if I have something to say that they'll listen to me and trust my judgment instead of just doing it because, let's say they're afraid of me or something. The challenge of being captain, I think, has really helped me to be not only a better football player, but I think a better person. When I first came to Baylor, I saw that there was players, the pro scouts were here all the time, and I saw, players each year being drafted by the NFL, and I really never thought that I had a chance to play pro ball, and that really wasn't one of my expectations coming into college. But having played 4 years and going into my 5th year now, I definitely have a goal to play pro football and feel that I have a good chance as long as I continue to improve. Having a little brother in the offensive line is kind of tough because you're used to, I'm used to telling my little brother what to do in certain situations, and sometimes I forget that he is a starting center and that he knows more about playing the position than I do. And we were playing the University of Houston, and we lined up, and Houston switched at the very last minute, moved defensive linemen into different positions, and John was looking at that to see who he was going to have to block. And right as he was concentrating on that, Alan Rice called the game, fires off, and he was late with the snap, and we got an offsides penalty. And so I came back to the huddle, and I'm trying to, I'm telling him, why didn't you snap the ball, and I'm upset with him, and he just kind of looked at me, and kind of smiled. He knew that he'd made a mistake, but he takes my criticism very well, and he puts up with it anyways. I really enjoyed my football career here at Baylor, and I'm looking forward over the next few years to come back and watch my little brother develop into an all-Southwest Conference caliber type of center, and possibly leading the Baylor Bears to a Southwest Conference championship.
Baylor has many all-conference candidates and several All-American prospects, and one of those is center John Adickes, and John Morris has his story. Texas. It's a sobering sight to see the talent that Coach Grant Taft will have to replace for next season. One of those seniors is four-year starter John Adickes from Killeen. He followed his brother Mark to Baylor and will soon follow him into the pros.
John Adickes would have been a natural for the Texas Longhorns. His burnt orange hair would have fit in well with the color scheme in Austin. Luckily for Baylor fans, the Waco tie was stronger.
People give me a hard time. You know, I have red hair. You know, and that's why a lot of people wanted me to go to Texas, because of my burnt orange hair. But I had to say no. I had to go with the color of my shirt, green or turquoise. But, you know, I guess green's been in my blood since my brother did come to Baylor, and I wanted, you know, to play with him.
His brother is Mark Adickes, an All-America offensive tackle for the Bears in 1983, now starting for the Kansas City Chiefs. The two have always been close and shared a number of experiences growing up and playing football together. Like the weekend, Mark and John downed 17 gallons of milk.
It was back when Mark was a freshman and John was still only in ninth grade.
That's not a normal weekend, is it?
Well, I certainly hope not. We would have had our own cow if that's what it had been. But Mark was convinced that that's what made you get big, was drinking a lot of milk. So John thought he'd try it out, too, for the weekend. I don't know if it worked.
It worked, as John now weighs in at 6'2", 270 with speed to match. Last Saturday against Rice, after the Owls' Jeff Thomas intercepted a pass and appeared to have a clear path to the end zone, Adickes chased him down from behind and made the tackle.
I thought it was one of the running backs chasing him down, and it was John Adickes, and that just really demonstrated the kind of effort that he puts forth.
He also puts forth the effort in the weight room.
Both of them have had, like I said, real good work habits. John is one that I talk to people about having to kick out of here.
I don't think anybody could have a better center than John. He can do all the things that you want a center to do.
A team captain, Adickes should be a consensus choice for all Southwest Conference center and could make an All-America team or two. Again, just like his brother.
But off the field, besides football, we have a lot of common interest, and, you know, it's pretty much that we can both say that we're best friends, even though we are brothers.